Florida frenzy. Republican candidates scrambling to win votes in the Sunshine State before tomorrow's primary.
Stressed students. College brings some extra tension, but it also gives students resources to handle the pressure.
Jimmer versus Jazz. The BYU All-Star was back in Utah, but he needed more than a local crowd to seal the win. I'm Kara Teo.
And I'm Kelsey Eager. It's Monday, January 30th, and in Utah, it's 12 o'clock.
From KBYU and the BYU Department of Communications. This is the award-winning 11 News at noon.
Family and friends are remembering a University of Utah student who died in an avalanche in Big Cottonwood Canyon. Alexander Luke Barton was snowboarding when he triggered a slide carrying him down the mountain. The slide buried him under debris. Barton would have celebrated his 25th birthday today, and friends say he lived a life full of adventure. Another University of Utah student died this weekend when she fell off a canyon ski resort lift. The woman fell from the High Meadow chairlift, which ranges from 15 to 75 feet off the ground. The ski patrol responded quickly, but the victim died an hour later. The Summit County Sheriff's Office is now investigating the death.
It's a flurry of attacks in Florida as Republican candidates Mitt Romney and Newt Gingrich criticized each other's campaigns the day before the primaries. 11 News reporter John Lisk reports how far the two have gone to gain voters from the Sunshine State.
With only 3 days before Florida's primary, Mitt Romney and Newt Gingrich aren't wasting any time.
We've had about 18 debates so far. They're getting more and more fun as time goes on. This last one, Speaker Gingrich said he didn't do so well because the audience was so loud. The one before, he said he didn't do so well because the audience was too quiet. This is like Goldilocks, you know, you got to have it just right.
All I'll say about Governor Romney is, well, he was governor, he raised taxes, he imposed Romney Care. The state of Massachusetts was third from the bottom in job creation.
All the attacks weren't that civil. Negative campaign ads are popping up across Florida. This one from Romney recalling when Gingrich was House Speaker.
By an overwhelming vote, they found him guilty of ethics violations.
Gingrich fired back with his own ad.
But in the 1992 Massachusetts primary, Romney had the chance to vote for George H.W. Bush or Pat Buchanan, but he voted for a liberal Democrat instead.
Polls show Romney surging past Gingrich. A new Quinnipiac University survey shows Romney has 38% of Florida primary voters. Gingrich has 29%. Meanwhile, Ron Paul took his campaign to New England Saturday, aiming to win support from voters in the main caucuses. And Rick Santorum has an event scheduled Saturday night in the Washington, D.C. area. He is expected to campaign in Florida on Sunday. I'm John Lisk reporting.
Before the South Carolina primary, Romney focused his attacks on President Obama. But after his loss in South Carolina, he's attacked Gingrich on a more personal level. They're putting their hammers back to work. New data shows that construction jobs grew nearly 3% in Utah last year. A contractors trade group says construction jobs are 39% away from what they were in 2007 before the recession. The construction industry links the improvement to the I-15 Core project.
And part of that construction growth in the state comes from the new City Creek Center project in Salt Lake. The huge shopping center will open its doors in less than 60 days. Officials expect the $1.5 billion project to revitalize Salt Lake City's central business district. Global analysts say City Creek will likely draw national and global attention because it is the only retail center opening in the U.S. this year. The economy may be growing, but the number of births in Utah isn't. Intermountain Healthcare reported 580 fewer births in 2011. Mountain Star also reported a decline. Utah's baby boom hit its peak in 2008 and has been going down ever since. But many health officials believe the improving economy will mean more baby making in the next few years.
She wants better pictures from Saturn's moon, and she's got the plans to do it. BYU professor Janie Radabaugh has published a plan and design to send an airplane to one of Saturn's moons to gather high-resolution images of sand dunes, lakes, and rivers. The plane would take almost 8 years to get to the moon and would orbit for about 1 year while sending images and data back to Earth.
Utah is saving money on textbooks by going digital. The Utah State Office of Education will develop and support digital textbooks for various subjects, and they're pushing schools to make the switch by this fall. The online textbooks are cheaper and easier to update. Pilot programs who have used the textbooks in Utah high schools cut the average cost of $80 down to $5.
When 11 News at noon returns, stress relief. When the going gets tough, the tough do yoga. We'll show you why students appreciate this relaxing exercise.
And Jimmer returns. He may be on a new team, but he's still a fan favorite. See his first game back in Utah when we return.
With the first test of the semester right around the corner, students may be feeling overwhelmed. 11 News reporter Ariel Harrison dove into mediation and yoga for stress relief.
33,000 students, an extremely competitive university, and a desire to succeed. Put it all together and what do you get? One stressed out student.
College students are displaying greater levels of stress than, shall we say, ever before.
Students are busy and overbooked. On top of their classwork, they juggle bills, dates, and work.
Highly motivated, overcommitted, stretched too thin.
This sounds like a recipe for disaster, but BYU offers options on campus for students to cope.
Dr. Pam Mays has been studying meditation for over 50 years and offers free sessions on campus.
I'm very interested in people being able to relax and to be able to access the right hemisphere of their brain.
A few other options available for students are free counseling sessions and workout classes like yoga.
I have 6 kids, and my husband watches them when I go to yoga, and he wants me to go to yoga because it is such a stress relief.
Instructors say that yoga is an outlet that helps the body and mind recuperate from the stress of everyday life. There are many resources that BYU offers for students to turn a hectic experience into a sweet one. After all, stress is just dessert spelled backwards. On BYU campus, Ariel Harrison, 11 News.
If you're one of those stressed out students, you can visit 11news.byu.edu for more information on yoga classes and other outlets for stress.
Police ban Occupy DC protesters from camping out. A deadly Florida car accident takes 10 lives, and Americans are saving rather than spending. Here's your look at news from across the nation. Occupy DC protesters finally packed up their 4-month tent city. Police put a camping ban in place and even tased a protester after refusing to cooperate. The Occupy movement started last summer in New York and still hasn't stopped. Rallies in Atlanta, Chicago, and Oakland, California are still in motion, leading to hundreds of arrests, violence, and no clear resolution. In Florida, 10 people have died and another 18 have serious injuries in a pileup accident. Investigators are still trying to determine what caused the accident on Interstate 75. They suspect a fire by the road is to blame for the mixture of smoke and fog that blinded drivers. The fire melted the asphalt, and authorities don't know when the southbound lanes will reopen. And a new report says that Americans got bigger paychecks but spent less money this past holiday season. The savings rate jumped to 4% because consumers kept their money in their wallets. That means workers on average saved $4 for every $100 earned. This is no surprise to economists who say that government readings predicted the low growth rate of sales. And that's your look at news from across the nation. Kelsey?
When 11 News at noon returns, foreign flair. We'll explain why some players at this weekend's basketball game say a little international experience helps them on the court. Brother B, competition runs strong for these brothers, especially when it comes to letters. Find out whether the 4th or 6th grader won the latest contest.
And I'll fill you in on the forecast for the new work week when 11 weather returns.
Ashley, there have been a lot of scary winter accidents happening this weekend. What can we expect for this week?
Yes, definitely. Well, it looks like some of the snow melted on the mountain. So if you take a look outside today, we have that pretty picture of just the mountains there with a little bit of snow, but not too much. So currently outside, it's a little chilly, around 36 degrees, and it's also a 55% humidity with an 8-mile-per-hour wind speed. And if we take a look at outside again, we have the highs for our state. It'll be, let's see, expect for tonight we have a low of 23 degrees and also a 20% chance of snow before 11 p.m. Also, the sunset will be at about 5:42 p.m. And if we take a look now at our state, the highs for today, it looks like everything will be around the 40s and 50s except for Provo. We've got 39 degrees in Provo we lose at this game, so look at that. And St. George and Cedar City down in the 50s, 56 for St. George and 51 for Cedar City. For the southern part of our state, Monday through Tuesday, we'll see those clouds covering the sun there, with the highs in the 50s and the lows around 30 degrees. And for Wednesday, we have also the highs for 55 and the low for 33. Now Thursday and Friday, we'll see that sun come in, highs at 50s and the lows at 30. And if we take a look now at our northern part of our state, we'll see a little bit of that rain-snow mixture with the highs around the 40s and the lows in the 20s. That's going to be Monday through Tuesday. And then Thursday and Friday, hopefully we'll see a little sun. Thursday looks a little funky with the 28 as the high and 19 as the low. And Friday we'll see that sun come in, 37 for the high and 24 for the low. So girls, I'm thinking stay in until Thursday and Friday when we can see the sun again.
I know it looks kind of gloomy for right now,
Yes.
but if we hold out for the weekend,
Hopefully the weekend. Yeah.
It'll be a warmer weekend and we can see that sun again.
It will come. Thanks,
It will.
Ashley.
Thanks,
Oh,
guys.
and I will cross my fingers that it will be sunny for the game on Thursday. Sean, can you tell us what's happening with sports?
Well, basically at this point, they've got to come back on Thursday after the performance that they put in on Saturday. And next on sports, 21st ranked St. Mary's rolled into a packed Marriott Center on Saturday and rolled right back out with the season sweep. It was a loud sellout crowd as BYU hosted their new rivals, St. Mary's, but the home court advantage wasn't enough for the Cougars to calm the Gales. The crowd was rocking from the get-go, and Brandon Davies started off the scoring with this powerhouse reverse dunk. But St. Mary's pulled away late in the first, taking a 12-point lead into the half. And after the Gales extended their lead to 23 early in the second half, BYU ratcheted up the intensity on both sides of the ball, bringing the game within 9. But the Gales held off the Cougar comeback and walked out with an 80-66 win. BYU can't dwell on the loss, though. Perennial powerhouse Gonzaga rolls into town to take on the Cougars on Thursday. One thing the court was not lacking this weekend was international flair. 11 News reporter Liz Mullins tells us how St. Mary's may have had an advantage given their players' level of expertise.
4 countries, 1 basketball game. Saturday's matchup between BYU and St. Mary's was a melting pot of players. BYU's own Charles Abuel played for the Ivory Coast 2 summers ago in the World Championships in Turkey. St. Mary's has a total of 7 international players. Clint Steindl, who has played against teams from China, Mexico, and Serbia, says it has helped him prepare for both a college and professional career.
I think just gaining that experience and seeing what different types of basketballs are around the world, and you get to learn those different things.
Assistant coach Adam Kaporn and 5 of St. Mary's players are from Australia. He says the varied experience can give players an advantage.
Well, I certainly think it can help players in their development. Like I said, in particular, in their ability to create off the dribble and stuff like that.
The players will be the first to point out the physical nature of the international game, which pushes them to play smart, but just as hard over here.
I would say in like the World Championships and stuff, everyone was a lot bigger. The teams were a lot better, a lot more skilled, and I definitely had to learn to play against that type of competition.
Assistant coach Kaporn also says that the biggest challenge and honor for these athletes is being able to represent their country. At the Marriott Center, Liz Mullins, 11 News.
St. Mary's had 3 of their international players on the court against BYU, and that may have proved to be successful, made them successful in their win over the Cougars. And it was a winning weekend for the BYU women. They won their 9th in a row by shooting down Santa Clara 74-64. The Cougars trailed by 3 at the half, but took control in the second. Senior forward Kristen Riley paced the Cougars with 17 points and 11 rebounds, including a career high.
Still to come at 11 News at noon. Sibling spellers. These brothers study together, compete together, but only one can win the title of Spelling Bee champion.
A 9 and 11-year-old pair of spelling bee siblings battled against each other to spell victory. Kumasi Aaron got the buzz on the Brothers B.
Orizon. For brothers Mikhail and Safi Hader, spelling is a family affair. Mikhail's a 4th grader at Elm Tree Elementary and Safi a 6th grader at Spring Hill Middle. Both faced off in Benton County Spelling Bee, but in the end it was little brother Mikhail that came out on top with Safi in 2nd place.
I didn't really think I'd win because he's 2 years older than me, and there are a lot of kids who are a lot older than me than 2 years.
The brothers studied together for weeks preparing for the big day and say they never expected to be each other's biggest competition. It was the longest spelling bee in Benton County history.
I was just hoping that he'd spell one of the words wrong, but he's a really good speller, and I was kind of, what a saint. I was kind of surprised that he got some of the words right. They're pretty difficult.
Safi says he's proud of his little brother and is helping him get ready as he heads to the state spelling bee in Little Rock next month. Mikhail's road to the state spelling bee started right here in his classroom, where he beat out about 25 of his classmates to move on to the school-wide spelling bee. Mikhail's teacher, Shasta Neisler, says after he won the school-wide bee, he couldn't wait to prepare for the county-wide bee.
He was getting ready to go to Los Angeles right after he found out he'd won a class, and he was ready to study. He asked for all the words so that he could take them with him and he could study on the plane.
While these brothers may be spelling bee champs, they're just like any other siblings.
We play together a lot. We're not like, we don't argue all the time. We play basketball together sometimes and play outside a lot. We play tennis too.
So cute.
They're so cute. A little family competition never hurt anybody.
But they're so supportive of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
I wonder what the hardest word was that they had to spell. I don't know. I'm not very good. So.
I'm a speller, so I wouldn't know as well.
Well, that's 11 News at noon for Monday, January 30th.
You can join us anytime on our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.